think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. It is great to see everyone that is here for the In the City recap, opinion, rant. I don't know if we'll get to rant territory. Let me speak to everyone that is here. Welcome into Sandra P's Gen Extra. It's great to see you live Thursday morning. I hope everybody is having a great week so far, fastly approaching the weekend, pre-weekend. We're pre-weekend. Hello, CC. One of the moderators have come in. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to enjoy all the amazing content. Thank you, CC. I appreciate that. And CC is also saying good morning to myself as well as everyone in the chat. Auntie Linda Gamble, American Born, and chat. And we have Linda Gamble saying good morning, CC, my niece. Linda Gamble is speaking. Like, comment, subscribe, and Team Replay. You get to hype the video, so please do that. Thank you so much. American Born is here. American Born, don't stay away from me. American Born, come in and take your seat. So American Born is here. This is turning into our show. I'll see what you think, American Born. I'll see what you think. One of my fellow content creators, one of our internet nieces, friends, sis, Kiwan JTV. If you're not already over there, please go over there. Seen some of you over there in the YouTube streets. So if you're not, please go. Great content, objective, amazing, funny. Kiwan JTV says, good morning, Grand Rising, greetings, hello to Miss Sandra and chat. All of those back to you, Kiwan J. I'm glad to see you this morning. American Born is speaking back to her. Ophelia Burkhalter has waltzed in and said, good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Ophelia. It is great to see you during the In the City live. And it was great having you during the other lives yesterday. Welcome in, welcome in. American Born says, love it. American Born is the second subscriber. There was one, and now there is two with a theme song. So that is Miss Jackson, who's not here yet, and American Born. So we have Ophelia speaking to Linda Gamble, everyone that is in here. Thank you, Kiwan JTV. Thank you. We are a community of content creators. And we know there are so many that range the spectrum, range the size. But can you believe it? 100,000 and under subscribers are kind of one category. Yeah. So that's why we beg you, come back when your Team Replay. Consider giving us one of your 3 hypes. YouTube, you kind of stingy with the hypes. Give the people a little more hypes because I feel like they should spread them around. You give a smaller growing content creator a hype. There are larger creators that we consider larger, but YouTube says they're under 100,000. They have content. We want to watch that too. I'm there. I'm in the YouTube streets. I watch all of them. Good morning, American Born. Everyone is speaking to each other, to American Born, saying good morning. And I'm glad to see everyone in here during this live. Because I was kind of looking at the episode like, what's going to happen here? We'll see. But actually, everybody, it was pretty good. Not a lot happened, but we have the context of, if you're unfamiliar with In the City, it's Bravo's new show. Some of the Summer House cast is on it, and they are adding friends, generally longtime friends, people they've known a while. They're back in New York City from the summer house that is in the Hamptons, New York, and we get to see their real lives. So I think that this show I don't know if it'll have legs, but it could if they do the right thing with it. Now, old long face Amanda, I don't want to continue looking at this deceptive woman. We know she's a liar. We know she's deceptive. We know she's working off her own imaginary script in her head. We know that Kyle doesn't know what this lady has on her mind, and we do, because this is shot last summer. And it's hurtful to watch her do this. Kyle was not a great husband. We know that. We know. But watching Amanda, she took all the sympathy of the audience, everyone in the house, and now we know she's complicit in a lot of what's going on. Like I said, she knew Kyle was a cheat, knew that a lot of times he's drunk, knew all of that. And she begged. She still wanted to get married. She married. Outwit, outplayed, outlasted. And now here she is. She's found her new dusty plaything, and she's out here with a friend of theirs, West TD. I agree. YouTube has been on one lately. Yeah, American Born, a lot going on. I stay here in my little studio and I mind my Black-owned business. And if I do decide to go where they're discussing kind of messy topics, I keep my head down and I continue to mind my business. Because the YouTube streets are not for the weak. American Born says Kenny can kick rocks. Yeah, we kind of looked at him episode 1. He seemed a little smarmy from some of the things that he did. Finding out he had access to an app where he can look at patrons, and we know he's talking about the women that come into Garrett. I'll have to look through these names again. Bar, I didn't like that. AB says it's not as good as Next Gen NYC, in my opinion. I agree. We'll see what else is going to happen with it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But Next Gen NYC, we're looking forward to our internet nieces and nephews to come back. Particularly Riley Burris is the one that we have a perpetual cloak over her. We're very protective of her. And we saw that she was in a microaggressive situation, which is all a Bravo, honestly. Because Sierra just got back up this past season with Mia and KJ. And so now we have Riley. Ava Dash doesn't count. Ava Dash doesn't count. I'll just say that. I haven't watched In the City. Is it like Summer House? Yes, Key1 JTV. The difference between it and Summer House takes place in the Hamptons. They're there for a few weeks. They've been friends and going there for 10 years. They've added a few new people, but it's a core group. This group In the City, we follow them. The vacation's over. They wave goodbye in the car in the last episode, drive back into New York City, and everybody gets back to work, to home, to their real life. I like it. It's only on the second episode. Bravo is kind of concerned. They have dropped both full episodes on YouTube, so we can see it on Bravo. Peacock, I like to watch it on Peacock, but no commercials. You can also watch it on YouTube. I don't recall commercials on YouTube. So they're really trying to get an audience. Amanda has lost a lot of their audience, being a long back, long face cheat. She's the wife. She's the only one married in the Summer House to Kyle, who I'll refer to him sometime as a Ken doll. And she has cheated on him with somebody who could be Skipper's boyfriend, if we stand with the Barbie analogy. And she's cheated with this younger man, West, who's kind of a sports bro. He doesn't really have an identity. He came on doing the wannabe thing. I can't call him what I want to call him, but it starts with a W too. He's doing the wannabe thing. You know, KJ, he brought him in. KJ's the only Black cool friend to the group of guys. Sierra was the only sister. And then she got her little sister, Mia. Now Mia is there. So Mia has Mia's protective of Sierra and KJ. They're a little group. One scene they got in the mirror, they had some grills. Sierra likes to bring costumes and things like that. So that was something that would be funny to just them and a certain aspect of the Bravo audience. So they had their little grill on, which I loved, because people don't know how difficult, mentally draining code switching can be. Sierra was an ICU nurse during COVID. She's also a model. So Amanda, we're going to see her in the City, who's married to Kyle, has been one of those draining friends to Sierra for years. She's been in this bad relationship, bad marriage, and crying on Sierra's shoulder the whole time. So this whole thing that's going on, the scandal, is that Sierra, once upon a time, had a thing with West TD. We call him West TD because we don't know what's going on downstairs. But he's a nasty, nasty boy. He lines these women up and knocks them down. I don't trust them. I wouldn't be with them. Kenny's a narcissist. American Born, Lindsay called it episode 1. And we're going to see more of that. I think I'm going to introduce the characters. So just settle in, take a seat. I think I'll pull that up because I already couldn't remember Garrett's name. He's the one that owns the bar. Everyone is still speaking to each other. And American Born says, yes, they're pushing it as they should. Yeah, they are. And they need to. I mean, I think a lot of the audience that's saying, we're not going to watch this anymore, I believe it. Because I really, begrudgingly, I'm like, I need content. And so that's why I'm watching it. I like Garrett. He's just the right amount of messy. Him sitting up cackling with Lindsay and then admitting that, yeah, we tag team Kenny's tail. Because Kenny he's an older F boy. Kenny might be right at 40 or something. But this lady, Whitney, he's dating, Key1J, she moved across country. No ring. They've been dating, he said, off and on a year. So they started dating. She's from the Bachelor universe. and they started dating, and they've just been serious 6 months. He's lost his mother in the meantime. So my heart goes out to Kenny for that. Your brain really is not firing on all cylinders during that time. She had stage 4 cancer. So during this episode, we see beautiful pictures of Kenny and his mom. And Kenny's not the greatest person anyway. He's a venture capitalist. And now they've put up that he's also a real estate developer. Reem Bass, good to see you in the chat. Good morning, Sandra P. Mods in chat. Great to see you. We are talking about In the City. I'm giving background because Kiwan J and some of the others have not watched it yet, but I'm still kind of a little mad at Summer House and what's happening over there because of our little sister Sierra. But I'm going to watch and follow and do content for In the City. First 2 episodes are on YouTube, and I like to watch them on Peacock. Linda Gamble says, good morning, Reem Bass, my sis. Everybody is welcoming in and speaking to Reem Bass. So, yeah, I think it would be a good idea. Let me go over here and get what we have from Bravo, what they show us as far as Kenny, Garrett. They introduce us to the group. I'm still here. I was considering doing it, but had not decided. So I didn't have it queued up. So excuse me for that, but I can pull it out now relatively quickly. Okay, let's see. All right, we'll share. Got the Bravo site. Wes and this fake mullet, disgusting. So that is West TD and old long face Amanda. The link to In the City is that Amanda is cast on In the City, and she knew that at the time she was doing all this foolishness with Wes, which some believe, Linda Gamble mentioned that she believed it start early as 2024, that these two are cheaters. She's the married cheater. He is friends to her husband. And to me, that's just as egregious. The Sierra and him being her ex, I don't really care as much about that as I care about her friendship with Sierra and her relationship with her husband, Kyle. And the other kind of grimy thing that you'll watch within the city is that Amanda has convinced Kyle that they're going to separate to be able to better come together. He getting ready to help the lady move, y'all. I can't take it. If Kyle were my brother, I probably would pop Amanda. American Born says, we get to see Sierra next week with the loser. Ugh, I'm not happy about it. Reem Bass, good morning. Linda Gamble, American Born, CC, Ophelia, Kiwan J. Reem Bass is speaking to everyone that spoke to her. They are all speaking back. Okay, so I'm going to put the comments on hold a while. Go back over here to Bravo. They have a whole In the City section. Here it is with the shows. And then they introduce the cast so we can get to meet them because we don't know all these people. The people that we know, Lindsay Hubbard right here, she's from Summer House. Kyle, he's married to Amanda. He's from Summer House. And then I'll go through. I wish I'd started that little thing. Lexi is married to Andreas. Andrea is Italian. They had their wedding in Italy. We found out first episode, everybody. Kyle attended the wedding. And Andrea said he was there alone. Kyle attending the wedding, he did not. And y'all, Amanda is in Italy we've heard a wedding. I'm not sure. I think her and West TD are liars. They are escaping the pushback and the backlash that's coming from their activities at the reunion because they knew the reunion was airing and what they've been doing all along to cheat. So they're in Italy, but she couldn't make it to Italy with her husband, but she's there now with Dusty, with Midwest. I can't stand him. So this is Lexi. She's one of the characters. This is Whitney. Whitney, you'll see with Kenny. This couple right here, Kyle and Amanda. Can't stand her. Can't stand. And she's trying to use this as a storyline, which I find kind of repulsive. Look at this article. Amanda Batchelor makes a major admission about living without Kyle. During this episode, we see she's keeping their beautiful New York apartment like a hoarder's nest. And Kyle makes a statement like, I got to be able to have a clear head because they're going through a lot. They're fighting. He's fighting for their marriage. And he's like, I got to be able to keep a clear head when I come to my home space. And Loverboy, the headquarters for his business, is right next door. Lindsay is not Lindsay's an influencer, but Amanda is as well. She gets a lot of free stuff. There's boxes of stuff, clothes, shoes, everything. She got stuff in the kitchen, in the living room, everywhere. Kyle has put a few clear places in there, but I don't know how he lives with her. I'd be happy to help her move. This is Danielle. Danielle, of course, is from Summer House. She and Lindsay used to be good friends. She keeps saying best friends. Danielle, I don't think Lindsay knew y'all were best friends. Lindsay's not speaking to her now. Lindsay has a little 10-month-old Gemma, and it keeps coming up that she had him with a guy she met. She knew him 2 months. That keeps coming up because she was in a relationship and engaged to Carl, who's also over on Summer House. Carl and Kyle are the oldest. Kyle, I think, is 41 or 43. Carl is around the same. Carl said he's 41. So Danielle, when she heard that Lindsay was expecting, you've only known the guy 2 months? This is in front of the whole group of friends. They're on the beach. This is Danielle talking. You only known the guy 2 months? Now Lindsay's already pregnant. And you let him put a baby in you? So Lindsay's like, yeah. You don't even live together? Lindsay's like, no, we don't live together. And they're friends. She said, you're going to be single momming it up. That's what she said to Lindsay. This is Lindsay. So Lindsay has pulled back from her. Danielle has never met Gemma. Gemma, 10 months old. We've seen Gemma twice on the show. We see her quite a bit, actually. She's funny. She's sweet. She's one of those little babies that she just have her own mind. She's like a little Lindsay. Lindsay is kind of wild, but Gemma's the same. And now Danielle wants to know, we used to be best friends and Lindsay doesn't speak to me. You told your friend she's going to be single momming it up. Now I'm going to tell you about her. She is dating someone else's husband openly. She's allowed him to move into her apartment. His name is Owen, which his mama spelled O-U-I-N. And I can't stand him for that. It's ridiculous. So Owen used to play tennis. He's teaching Danielle to play. And also Owen is discussing having a baby with this girl. And in real time, I think they said she's pregnant, y'all. No divorce in sight. This, of course, is the cast photo of everyone. Okay, where's the cast from? Good. This, I want to show you everybody because, again, we don't really know them like that. This is Kyle and Amanda at their wedding. Y'all, this is only 4 years ago. I think they said it was on season 6. Dear Yvette was here yesterday. I think she mentioned, I didn't read her whole comment. Sometime with my glasses, I can't read the whole comment. But she said the wedding took place, I think, on the show. She did say that. And I believe I saw season 6 afterward. So that's them. I don't care where they're all from. Lindsay from Florida, that tracks. This is Danielle. That's her egghead, funny shaped head, bobblehead boyfriend. Look at him with an ascot around his neck. His wife probably picked that out. You're not that stylish. Look at him. Disgusting. He's moved into Danielle's apartment. She got the nerve to want a baby. Let the man get divorced first. So we're gonna drag her. We're gonna drag Danielle. Let's see. Gavin. I wish they were showing the pictures. There's a place where they actually had the pictures. I don't know if I can expand that big enough. I'll try. This is Gavin with the cap on. He owns the bar that they all come together and meet at. And then there are other 2 characters, Nick and Yvonne. And Yvonne is a good friend to Lindsay. So if I go through and I can find like where the breakdown of the cast is, I'll pull it up. Because they do have that on here. I just don't know what I did with it. Okay, so let's get to the reunion. That is our sweet KJ. That's our little bro that is now. He's tracking. He's trending. He was really brave about his mental health in the first episode on the reunion. And y'all, the atmosphere was so heavy that it wasn't a lighter moment when KJ brought that up, but it was another human moment, and we were glad to see the whole cast embrace him. That's his girlfriend, Dara. So there we go. Again, y'all saw Whitney from Batch Nation. This is Amanda with her new dust bucket. Amanda, if you look at her looks here during the cast photos, which were taken last year, and then when we see her now, not a good look at all. And Kyle is concerned for Amanda. She said to him, you don't have to be concerned for me. This is the guy that Amanda thinks she's moving on with. You talk about F-boy, he's one. Kyle is a recovering one because he's 43. When they get to a certain age, they stop trying to do all that. Not that Amanda still has to be there for that, but I think she could have picked, as Sierra put, literally a million guys. more than that, but she picked who she picked. This guy we run into, he is now the chef. He used to date Danielle. He's now the chef at Garrett's Speakeasy. Garrett calls it a Speakeasy. And we'll see him again. Y'all, I can't. Mia broke up with Scott. Good for Mia. Mia says she's not jumping back into the dating pool. And that's that. Let me put that down, and then we'll go. I'll read any comments, and then we'll go back to the review, everybody. And I'll welcome if anyone else has come in here. And if you are in here, just treat the like button like a doorbell. I love that. And have the likes match the number of people in the chat. That will be great. And then if you're in the bushes, hello, everybody that is in the bushes. Thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra and chat. Okay, so we are going to... Oh, thank you. It matches. Linda says 7 likes, 7 in the chat. AB says, I like Andrea and Lexi. I do too. I think they're a cute couple. They're both models, everybody. Yes, a hoarder is a good word for a long face. Amanda, you see all that stuff in that apartment? And it's a large apartment. And then, of course, you can get a storage unit. There's a lot of boxes and stuff. Danielle can kick rocks as well. Yeah, I'm not a big Danielle fan at all. That man, weird looking, isn't he? Yes, he's got a head like an alien. Talking about he's still got a wife, but he's moving in with his girlfriend. Where they do that at? Untouched. His girlfriend, his wife doesn't have the right type of friends. And AB is laughing. Okay, so we will get started, everybody. Let me see if my notes transferred over here. This will be easier for me. If not, it's no problem. We'll still do it in the city. Okay, it did. All right, let's see. So we got Kyle. Kyle is in a meeting for Loverboy, and they're going over some marketing and merchandising. He now has excuse me, everybody. Let me turn this camera off for a moment. He now has merchandise, so he's got all this stuff that has Loverboy on it. We know his business was really suffering until this happened to him, and now the fans, other businesses have really embraced him, and he's going to do, it looks like, a lot better. Amanda could have invested in his business. I don't think that she did, but he did get a cash infusion of $117,000 from Amanda last week. He charged her back rent. Once she moved out on him, he found out she wanted to move out. He asked her to help chip in for the rent for the past 4 years, which I don't know. I thought that was a little suspect, but because of Amanda's behavior, I don't mind that he did that. So Kyle's in a meeting with Loverboy. They're going over some of the merchandising stuff. And he asked the ladies, well, do you think I should get Amanda's opinion? And y'all, the look they gave, it kind of looked like they didn't want to be bothered with Amanda. So Amanda has turned off almost everybody. And he says, well, she's right next door. Again, the headquarters is next door. So he goes next door to get Amanda. Amanda is like humming in the closet. She's getting all her shoes and stuff together. Amanda has a crazy shoe collection. I almost forgot that she does have clothes and stuff that she could wear because she's been so covered up and dressed kind of crazy. And I have my own reasons. I think because she has recently lost a lot of weight, and I think she's doing a lot of covering up of her body. And the Reddit, I call Reddit Street Skid Row because they'll put anything over there. But I hope this is not true of Amanda, but it looks like there could even be some trigger warning, because it's really bothers some people to even bring it up. But it could even be maybe an eating disorder or something. I know she's highly stressed, a lot of it of her own making. And then, of course, Kyle always worries about her mental. So she is very happy to be moving. And at the same time, she's trying to convince Kyle that this is to help save their marriage. So her closet is actually the neatest place in the house. Her shoes are all lined up and all that stuff. I did notice that. But Kyle, he doesn't want her to move out. And I think he kind of in the back of his mind knows that once she moves out, that they're not staying together. And he even said in one of the confessionals, separating is not the way to make us get back together. And she's saying, I'm only doing this because I think it'll give us space apart and we'll be able to date each other. So she's gaslighting Kyle right to his face. And then he says, well, are you still going to keep a key? How's that going to work? She says, yeah, I'll keep a key. I'm going to come in at 4 a.m. and wake you up like you do me. Now, we remember he picked up DJing for extra money. She's saying, just look at it like a month-long vacation. I was having a hard time watching Kyle go through this. She says, I'm bringing these sneakers in case I need to run away from you. She was just throwing dig after dig at Kyle. And Kyle looked a little bit upset. And Amanda, how much of this stuff were you going to have moved out by the time this man got home from work? And then she was saying, we'll probably use your car and put a lot of stuff in it. And then, I don't know, we'll see how much I need to keep here and leave. I wouldn't let her leave her crap over there and also have a whole new apartment. She's talking about finding a 1 month unit. And we know that you're not going to find a place to live a month to month. It's just not happening. Let me look at the comments and then I'll go back. American Born says, I'm sure Amanda's daddy had to write the check out for Kyle since he controls and manages the finances. Yes, she does have that trust fund. She's from money. She has the trust fund. And I think it's coming up. There's a preview where he says, well, you know, we don't have a prenup because Kyle's business caused money problems for him. And Amanda is one of those women that doesn't contribute. And she said, if you come for me, I'll come for you. So again, she's from people with money. 8 likes, 7 in the chat. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for keeping the likes and the number relatively even. So Gavin and Lindsay are meeting. Gavin, again, he is the one that owns the speakeasy that they all drink at. So they're laughing together. And Lindsay was saying that you're the right amount of fun. And I'm careful about who I spend my time with. And he said, I count myself lucky. And they're just having a funny, fun conversation. We find out that Kenny is mad that he feels like Lindsay ganged up on him. And Gavin is saying, yeah, he's my bro, but he can dish it, but he cannot take it, which we knew. We go back over to a scene with Whitney and Gavin. Whitney's shipping 30 boxes from the West Coast. She's from Minneapolis. I think she was living in LA doing her bachelor thing. And now she's just trying to be seen. I don't know what I think about Whitney yet. She seems like a sweet girl, but she seems like she's walking eyes wide shut into this thing with Kenny and getting mad at anybody that's telling her, you move cross country for somebody that's not really committed. I mean, she's moving in, but I wouldn't trust Kenny like that. And he's had this huge upheaval. He's lost his mother in the past year. So I wouldn't trust him to make big decisions like that. And American Born says, Kenny didn't want to hear the truth from Lindsay because she called him out. Yeah, that's why he got upset. And all she said was, you're moving across the country without a ring, and saying, like, a lot of my friends wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Kenny's like, I'm getting man-hating vibes. And I don't think Lindsay was giving those vibes. I mean, she might have a reason to hate men if she feels that way, because she's kind of in a mediation with Gemma's father. He is letting her be shown on this show. We know some of these men, when they want to be spiteful, they don't let the children come on the show. But she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she says she's made that concession. She's glad Gemma can be on the show with her because that's part of her life, but Gemma can't be on social media. So I kind of don't blame the dad for that. I think that's all right. So we find out that Gavin used to just walk in Kenny's house when it was a bachelor's pad because they are friends and be like, let's go out. And they'd go out. And Gavin has opened and closed quite a few bars in New York. We get to meet Gavin. Gavin says he threw his first party as a teenager when his parents were out of town, and the neighbor told on him, but he told the parents it was a pretty nice party. So he's always wanted to be in just socially, I forgot what he called it, the hospitality industry. That also is the industry of Lindsay and her friend Yvonne. So they're discussing Owen and Danielle. Now, Whitney has gone out with the girls, so she has picked up a lot of information about the other ladies. And Kenny is collecting this information to use against Lindsay later. Kenny is such a snake. I don't care for Kenny at all. So Lindsay and Gavin are talking, and Gavin saying, well, where do you think it's going to go? I don't want it to be awkward. I want to play mediator if I can. Where do you think that you and Danielle are going? Lindsay says, I'm just careful about who I'm around. The chef comes out of the kitchen, and Lindsay's like, she knows him. It was the ex to Danielle. And Gavin says, oh, okay, yeah, you would know each other. Is that awkward? And Lindsay's like, no, we're cool. We're fine. She asked him, like, are you still in touch with Danielle? He said, I don't even talk about her. So y'all, Danielle must be a trip. We know she has no boundaries over here with this woman's husband. So Kenny and Whitney are discussing boundaries for Gavin. and him just coming in. They get a joint confessional, and Whitney saying, well, I could be walking around naked. You know how certain people do, Gavin. You wouldn't want to walk in on Whitney naked. I didn't like when she said that. And I can tell by a few of the expressions she was making as Kenny was talking, because Kenny was saying, and Gavin was on Lindsay's side, kind of rounding up a panel to interrogate me. He was using really strong language and being kind of a baby about it. And then Whitney was, of course, taking her boyfriend's side, but I feel like a little bit of the digs that she was throwing, I didn't like it. Gavin said that, and she'd make a face. So I know that her and Gavin they're on a collision course. I'm going to see what's going to happen with this. So next we go back to Lindsay's apartment. Lindsay has a big, beautiful apartment. She is an influencer. She lives there with Gemma. Gemma has a nanny as well. Liz, I think her name was. Gemma's nanny wasn't there. So Gemma's in her little, Lindsay's pouring wine for her and her friend who are coming over. Gemma's in her little play area, pulling stuff down, picking stuff up, eating on stuff. She's a really independent 10-year-old. She's so cute. So the lady comes in, her name will come back to me, the doctor, or she gives injections and stuff like that. She's also like a dermatologist. So she specializes in skin. She comes in bringing hand-me-downs, a bag full. Lindsay says, I think this is great. I love having her as a big sis. The kids are kind of similar in age, but it's a little girl. And she said, there's baby Louboutins in there. So that's the stuff about some of this pricey stuff for kids. They just grow out of it. So we hear from Georgiana's husband. She wanted to be friendly with him. She said, I did a mediation with my ex. I was trying to have the attorney right in there. We're going to spend at least 3 hours a week together. And the attorney's like, you can't make people spend time with you. This lady's kind of crazy. She already told us episode 1, she might be an episode of Snapped. She's surprised she's not. She also told us when she was pregnant with her second child, she was married, pregnant with her second child. When she got to maybe right toward the end, that man moved out, left her toddler, 2 dogs, didn't look back other than the mediation. So lady, I don't know what was going on, but her husband he walked out on her. So she's talking to Lindsay about her mediation. Lindsay's mediation is going pretty well. And they start talking about, they have the girls' night out with Whitney. Whitney is having a party, or Kenny's having a party for her to get to meet everybody. So Kenny is in with, Kyle, some other people are meeting. They are talking about Whitney. Whitney's a sweet girl, but she has an alter ego named Claire. That was kind of corny. Claire likes to twerk. Production showing us all these rhythmless nation twerks that Claire, aka Whitney, is doing. And Whitney's at lunch with a friend. I thought it was so funny because they have set up like outside this lunch spot. It's in New York, but at that time a fire truck comes and it is so loud and they've already set up. It kind of interrupted the scene, but it was a little bit funny. Whitney and her friend were laughing like, welcome to New York. And then we see Lindsay with a big glass of wine, her and her friend. They're recounting their younger days. Yvonne has come over. Her and Lindsay are getting dressed for the I think it's Whitney's Welcome to New York party. We get to see all the different couples getting ready. And before they get ready, let me go. But thank you, Georgina. The doctor or the lady that does the skin is Georgina. I appreciate that. Linda, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, team replay, please, to push Sandra P's Gen Extra content out into the algorithm. And it really does help everybody. And I really did see nice numbers for the Summer House reunion, recap, rant. So I was really pleased with that. Rhythmless Nation. Yes, she is a part of the Rhythmless Nation. People of the world today. You saw that little twerk she was trying to do. Production, please don't show that again. We don't want it. So everybody's getting ready for this party. Kenny and Whitney get ready. We're watching Owen over at Danielle's house. Again, this is someone's husband complaining that he only has a drawer. Her clothes are in a hallway like racks. She says, you know what New York space is like. Y'all knew that before you moved in. He has a whole apartment over there with his wife. This is just crazy. So we have Kenny and Whitney are talking. Kenny is a little nervous about running into, he's worried about Lindsay because Lindsay kind of dragged him. Gavin is a little bit excited because Gavin was dragging him too, but I think Gavin was just, a lot of it was jokey, but he was glad to see Kenny put on the spot. At the party, there is a really cute man that Andreas brought in. And he was funny. When Andreas saw his friend come in, his name was Frank. He said, Frank, over here. And the wife was with Andreas. She says, and the other women started looking. They were circling like sharks because the man was very attractive. He said, Frank. And he said, Andrea said, this one is for Lindsay's. Lindsay was running to the restroom and she was trying not to run into Danielle. Danielle and Quinn come in. And of course, Danielle's standing right in front of Lindsay. So Danielle decides, even though they're not speaking, she's going to reach out for Lindsay and try to kiss her on the cheek. Lindsay kind of curves her and goes off toward what she's doing. And here's Danielle telling Quinn, oh my God, where's Lindsay trying to take this? We used to be best friends and now I can't even greet her. And Owen's just like, we'll see what happens with it. He didn't give the reaction she wanted. She goes to another group of girls. Did you see that? Did you see Lindsay curved me? We used to be best friends. She's doing all this stuff. When she says it to Kyle, and I don't know about the editing because everybody kind of just got there. They're mingling. But Kyle is already slurring. So Kyle, were you pre-gaming? He says, well, I kind of want to be the mediator. But do you remember the last time that you talked to Lindsay on the beach when she was carrying Gemma? Do you remember what you said? And then I talked to her about you. I want the two of you to make up. I don't go around calling people sluts. That's kind of my move. I say I don't go around doing something, but then you do it. It's like in the jury when you throw something out and the judge says, don't listen to that. That's inappropriate. But you already got it out there. So that is what Kyle did. Production shows us the beach scene again, where Danielle quizzes Lindsay on, you having a baby by somebody you just known 2 months? She was engaged to Carl. The rebound guy is the one she got pregnant with. I mean, I can't wish now. It doesn't make any difference. But Carl, imagine if Carl were Gemma's father. They could probably even get back together. They still can, but I actually like Carl a lot. But Lindsay's she's kind of tough. So I can see why Carl wasn't putting up with that. So production is showing us Danielle saying all that stuff. You're going to be single momming it. Now she's in the same boat. And Kyle is now telling her all this stuff Lindsay said about her, that Lindsay's protecting her peace now. Lindsay doesn't really go around with sluts like she used to. And then also Lindsay said something else. It'll come to me. But Kyle is spilling his guts. This alcohol, whatever he's drinking, it was a truth serum. Kenny and Lindsay kind of circle each other. Lindsay pulls him aside. Apologizes the way things kind of went. Kenny's like, yeah, I was surprised. I had just met you. You put together a panel. You were enlisting other people. This is Kenny, y'all. They were just talking, and Kenny's already doing the whole list. You interrogated me. Lindsay said, just me? I interrogated you? She said, I'm being curious. I'm getting to know you. Kenny says, you're surrounded by drama, drama, drama. You're no longer friends with Danielle. You're having a problem. He named somebody else Lindsay had a problem with. And Lindsay's looking at him like he's crazy. Amanda, Whitney, and some other lady are over in a circle kind of looking like, what's going on? Because it started to get loud. And Kenny said to Lindsay, you can't judge me. You can't judge me when you had a baby that by a guy you've only known 2 months. Don't project your insecurities onto my relationship. He was being real snappy, everybody. And Lindsay was like, I'm not projecting my insecurities onto your relationship. Lindsay is puzzled. Gavin, everybody's looking. So Amanda, Georgina, and Whitney start to hear what's going on. And Whitney's like, I kind of want them to hash it out. I don't really want to go over there, even though it's her party. And that's her boyfriend, and he's getting loud. She said, I don't want to go over there. Amanda's like, no, don't go over there. Whitney, you don't know Amanda, but I'll tell you this for free. Don't take any life advice from Amanda. Amanda is a terrible source of information. She is disgusting. Everybody's laughing. So they are arguing in the middle of this party, and Lindsay kind of pulls away. Amanda warns her again, don't go over there. The argument gets louder. So Amanda says, Lindsay was just looking out for you. Lindsay just was mentioning to him that you moved across country. And Whitney says to Amanda, I can defend my own relationship. This is why I'm unsure about Whitney. Lindsay didn't say anything bad. The only reason Kenny got upset was because I think he does have not the best intentions for Whitney. I think he's one of these men. He's gotten to a certain age. He probably is a little tired of being the old man at the bar because he's 40 or pushing it very close too. I think he's right up there with Carl and with Kyle. I think Kenny's right at 40, Gavin, all of them. So at a certain point, it's a little embarrassing being that one in the bar. He wouldn't mind having a pretty young thing that's living with him, but he doesn't want to commit and get locked down or have a ball and chain or all the crazy things these red pill men say when they know that's what they want, but they can't admit to it because they've been preaching against it for so long. So I don't like Whitney saying, I can defend my own relationship. I'll believe it when I see it, Whitney. Lindsay and Kenny are yelling over the noise, but kind of at each other. Kenny says, you got problems. He's still listing off the people she's got problem with. Lindsay says, thank you for inviting me. He says, you're welcome. It was really passive aggressive. We get a confessional where Lindsay says, I know narcissistic men when I see one. Good luck, Whitney. And she kind of just pulls herself out of the whole situation. So Lindsay and finds Amanda and kind of tells her what's going on. Andrea bring his friend Frank, and Frank's good looking. Lindsay's like, it's been a while since I met someone that kind of made me sweat. She was sweating. She was like fanning up under her arms in the confessional. She was saying that she's ready. She said she's got a box of condoms at home in the drawer. They were unused and all this kind of stuff. So Lindsay was doing a lot. Frank was really good looking. They start talking. And Frank, when he was meeting all of the ladies while Lindsay was arguing, it was so funny. Anytime a doctor or someone who practices any type of medicine, or even people that train people, people will ask them questions about their profession. So Georgina, we see a scene where Frank has his skin up and Georgina's looking in his face going, you've spent some unprotected time in the sun, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. She said, you're about 40? Okay, it looks pretty good. So we find out also that she gives Botox. I didn't like what she said. Kyle takes Botox. They said, well, Kyle's 43, but it's not like overdone, but he has a youthful look. And he looks pretty good. Andrea's only in his 30s. I think he had a scene where they put a scene in where he was giving her Botox. She was giving him Botox. So this is something that the group does. Anyway, Frank and Lindsay kind of hit it off. So they make plans. They're going to meet up at another time. The next scene we have Lindsay and Amanda are looking for apartments. And Amanda is saying, yeah, I told him during the anniversary dinner, another slimy thing she did. And Lindsay's like, during the anniversary dinner? Because Lindsay said, well, how were you guys' anniversary? Amanda said, it was great. We went to dinner. We were kind of reconnecting. But then I told him we probably should separate in order to get back together. She's feeding this line. And y'all, the backstory is we know that her and West TD have already been messing around while they're in New York and they've been caught. And we also know at the same time, she has cut Kyle off. She put a chastity belt on within her marriage. She only takes it off when she leaves the house, okay? So Kyle is over here. I don't know if it's the desert or not. Kyle, are you fooling around too? Because most men that look like Kyle, and he's a DJ, and then we find out that he's in different spaces and staying out till 4 a.m. I don't know. Kyle hasn't admitted to anything. And more importantly, he hasn't been caught. So Lindsay and Amanda are talking about her moving out. Lindsay is kind of, you're a little bit sad about seeing the end of their relationship because that's what it is. Amanda's just lying. So next we get Kyle. Kyle is over there with the dog, Ryder. Ryder is helping Kyle. Well, he's not helping him. He's watching him organize the space. And y'all, the place looks a lot better already now that Amanda's not there with all her crap all over the floor and everywhere. So Kyle ends up getting a FaceTime from his mom. Y'all, this scene was really sweet. The mom calls, how are you doing? And Kyle and her, they just start catching up with each other, finding out how each other is doing. And Kyle said, well, he's doing all right, but he's a little bit sad that Amanda's moving out. The mother's like, oh my God. So production helpfully shows us the wedding. Kyle is giving his vows. Y'all, they had a beautiful wedding. I'll show a little bit of picture. Kyle was giving the vows. Amanda was giving her vows. And you know how weddings are. It just seems like everything's going to always be perfect, even though you know that it's not. But this part of it was kind of sad. So the mother starts tearing up a little bit. And I see where Kyle gets it from. Kyle's like, Mom. So they start tearing up. She said, you deserve to be happy too. And he was saying, I really don't want Amanda to move out. I don't know what's going to happen once she does that. And I kind of agree with Kyle. And Amanda is using this as her escape plan. I think Amanda never had any intention to go back once she moved out. I really don't. So Kyle and his mother are crying to each other on the phone. Y'all, this part was kind of sad. And she's saying, well, I just didn't expect this. This is not anything I knew was going to happen. But it's her son, so she's taking up for him too. Like, you deserve to be happy. And she said, well, how's Amanda taking it? Because I'm sad for both of you. He said, Amanda seemed kind of happy. Amanda did seem kind of happy, y'all. Amanda has been like a wet blanket and a sad sack, and she just drags around pouting with her long face and all this kind of stuff. I forgot a scene that I will mention, Kyle and Amanda at the party. But Kyle mentions to his mother, he said, I think what triggered it, we were already having problems, but I told Amanda, I want to be comfortable in my space when I come home to clear my mind. Keep in mind, they're already living in New York, which it's a loud place. I love New York, but if you're an introvert, particularly, once you get away from all the noise and all that stuff, you do want to shut out the world and have it be in a clear, clean place. He mentions that to Amanda, and she's go, maybe I should just move out. And now she's lying about, I'm going to move out for a month. And then we're going to see in a preview, she's considering a lease of 1 year. So what couple that's only been married 4 years is going to separate for a year and then come back? It's just not going to happen. And then Kyle, he was telling his mother, so we were having just a few words. It wasn't anything too bad. And then she told me I wasted 10 years of her life. Kyle starts crying and his mother's crying. They're crying to each other over the phone, y'all. This scene kind of got to me a little bit. This was sad. So Kyle says that he did kind of agree for Amanda to move out, but she's so giddy and happy about it that is what's concerning him. Now he kind of sees that she may not move back in after she moves out. And we see it too. I kind of was like, Amanda's too happy. So I'll go back to the scene that I left out on the party. When they were at the party, Amanda was talking to her little small group. Kyle came in after. He greets most of the people, the guys, they get together. They all bunched up and they were talking, just catching up on their day, businesses, life, whatever. And Kyle ends up, he's talking to somebody. Amanda's talking to her group right back to back. She's telling the group, she's so passive aggressive. I hear Kyle. I feel like the motions from him moving and speaking. He didn't speak to me yet. And then finally they get to a place where Kyle's like, oh, hi, Amanda. Hello, Amanda. And they greet each other. And she says, I saw you. You didn't say hi to me. You didn't speak to me. And I'm like, well, why didn't she speak to him? But that's how she talks to him. You didn't say hi to me. You didn't speak to me. Did you walk Ryder? Ryder's the dog. No, he didn't walk Ryder. Did you feed Ryder? He did feed Ryder, of course. Kyle and Ryder are more of a team than him and Amanda at this point. So I just didn't like the way she was talking to Kyle. I don't like how she talks to Kyle. But within the friend group, Kenny, who I do think is an older F-boy, but he may be going into retirement because, again, he moved his woman in from cross country, but he may be ready to settle down, especially losing his mother. I don't know. I still don't really like Kenny, but I did like when Kenny was telling Kyle was saying, my wife, we had our anniversary and now she's planning to move out and I'm going to have to help her move. She's looking for apartments. And Kenny ended up saying, I root for Kyle and Amanda, but I also root for Kyle and Amanda. So if you're together and you're happy together, I'm happy for you. If you separate and you're not together, I'm happy for you as Kyle. I'm happy for Amanda as Amanda. And I said, look at Kenny over here making sense. So yeah, that was a good episode. Good morning, dear Yvette. Welcome in. I was mentioning something that you said. Welcome in, dear Yvette, about the wedding, that they got married on the show and that it was episode 6. So we're discussing In the City. I just got to the last scene, Whitney's party. We had a blowout between Lindsay and Kenny. Kenny, he's not growing on me, but I don't dislike and distrust him as much as I did. He was being kind of a messy person this episode. Everyone's welcoming in dear Yvette. And Cece says, Kyle probably thought Amanda would just stay and take it. Cece, he thought that because she'd been staying and taking it for 10 years. So they've been together 10 years with him being a real dog, a 2-legged dog, the first 6. And then she outplayed, outlasted all the other side chicks, became the main chick. And surprise, surprise, he hasn't really changed in the way that all that drinking, hanging out, all that kind of stuff. But now she wants to change the rules. And I think once she got her next one, West TD, lined up, now she feels free enough to leave. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to bode well for her. I don't think West has her as someone that's going to be permanent in his life. I'll give him a few months. I don't think they're going to break up this soon because they don't want the I told you so's. But I don't see them lasting. I really don't. So yeah, Kyle probably did think Amanda would just stay and take it because that's her track record. Sierra even told them on the reunion, yeah, you need somebody. West TD needs somebody like you because you're mute. You don't say anything. You get run over. Because remember, all those years in Summer House, all of the friends are always rallying around Amanda from Kyle's terrible treatment to her. So I can't believe Kyle was growing on me a little bit, sitting there crying with his mom. Now, Kyle will cry, but he should have known at some point people get fed up and no, they're not going to continue to take it. AB says, Amanda is delusional. I didn't like that either, that Kyle ignored her on purpose. Yeah, I think it was just big. It was just noisy. And I think she saw him before he saw her. There was one scene before Kenny and Lindsay talked. Lindsay was in a group of ladies talking. Kenny was like back to back with her and he was being, boisterous. And she kept looking around like, are you going to hit me? He was like man spreading. You know how they do, talking with hands and all this. And then they finally got a chance to speak. Thank you, CC Replay Gang. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and let's hype this video up. Yes, Team Replay, please hype the video up. So let me go back in and see if there was anything else that I can share from Bravo. Let's see. That is in the city. There's old Erica Jane. Let's see. In the city. We'll look and see. All right. This is Amanda. Look at her expression, y'all. They're showing a commercial. I hope they put that back up so you could see what her expression was. She was giddy. She was getting her stuff together like, duh, duh, duh. And Amanda has an amazing closet and shoe collection. She gets a lot of free stuff. I may have to put an overlay on this. Let me see.
Hustle is hustle in the city.
Oh, this is cute. I like this.
This is a New York moment.
This is a New York moment. I love it.
I've heard before from an agent of mine about the 11.
The angry 11.
So scrunch your eyebrows together for me. So those are the 11s.
That's the
Do
dermatologist.
you see the number 11 in between your eyebrows?
I see a lot of 11s.
He's only 31. He's already getting Botox. I want y'all to see Amanda's expression when she's moving. All right, that's Loverboy headquarters.
Can a
That's
guy
the
pull off a
merchandise.
mock neck? Probably not, right?
No, you're
Is it still time to just have Amanda weigh in?
Today?
I'll go next door.
I stopped it for a second, y'all, because that is right off the Bravo site, and I don't want them to flag me for that. But what I was saying, I was trying to show y'all Amanda's face, her giddy expression while she was packing while they were moving. Meanwhile, you see Kyle next door where the headquarters is, an apartment right next to where they actually live. And did you see the team's face when he said, can Amanda weigh in? They were like, today? So Amanda's not even, she's lazy. She's not even on the job. Now, we know she's admitted and said there's mental things sometimes that go on with her. I have compassion for that. But Amanda is also unmotivated in a lot of ways. And I'll finish showing you this scene so you can see this apartment.
The best way to pack shoes, I don't even know. These are good.
Should we go say hi to Mom? Look who I found.
Hi, Miss Ryder.
What you doing?
Trying to pack some of this up.
This has got to be the most organized closet in the house.
I'm organized. It's just the stuff that I don't know where to put. I just don't know where to put it.
That's the opposite of organized. When the stuff you don't know where to put, you don't know where to put it. Y'all, Amanda drives me crazy. I think Kyle's going to flourish when she moves out. And I think she will too once she gets rid of West TD.
Oh, I like these. Oh, but I need the black ones also.
After dropping the news to Kyle and like making the decision to move out, I feel lighter. I feel good about this decision. I feel like this could be what we need to potentially save this relationship.
Okay, I showed that because I don't have a problem if she were moving out in good faith, but we already know she's already hooking up with West TD. They are in a full-blown relationship. Yes, she's lying to Kyle to get her to agree with her moving out, help her actually move, because she knows she's already got this other man lined up, and the man is a so-called friend of Kyle as well. So that's my main problem with Amanda. Then we'll finish out the scene, and that will be the end of the review.
Are you gonna have enough stuff where you're gonna need like a van or a truck or what?
No idea. Maybe we could pack up your car. I mean, it's not gonna be like a crazy amount of shit. It's like a month-long vacation.
Are you gonna like surprise me? Like you're gonna keep your key and just like pop in, or how's that work?
Yeah. I'll just show up at 4 a.m. and wake you up like you do to me all the time. Do you not want me here? I feel like you're more excited for me to leave.
That's the opposite of how I think this has felt. I think
She's gaslighting him. She's trying to make him think that he wants her to move. But again, the whole thing is her idea, and she's making it their idea, and that it's better for their marriage if she leaves. This scene might be too long for me to play. I'll put an overlay over it, and then I don't think that I'll get in trouble if I do that. Let me try that.
Okay. I mean, we're trying to figure this out, right? Spending some time apart, but like courting each other and dating again.
we knew something drastic needed to happen. I don't think we knew what. Therapy wasn't necessarily giving us everything we needed. Look, I think that there was a side of me that I felt like we could have kept on continuing and playing this like broken record. So I give you props for confronting this like head on.
Oh, I need these sneakers too, just in case I need to run away.
Run away from your own
From you.
problems. Wow. Okay. Harsh.
Okay, that was the end of their part of it. That's episode 2, everybody. Let me rate the episode. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 because I do like, now usually I'm a person that complains, can I just watch the show? I don't want to hear all this stuff outside the show. But here I'll allow it because it's leading in from Summer House, which is the show both of them and Lindsay, of course, and Danielle and others are from. So I'll allow that. And I do like knowing like certain other things were going on behind the scenes. So I'm watching it and knowing that she's lying. He's kind of blindsided about some of it, but he's still getting instincts as to, you seeming kind of happy. And she's like, no, that's the exact opposite. I'm not. And he knows that what she's telling him is not what it actually is. AB says, I would have packed all her crap and sent it over to her new house myself. Yeah, I think for her to think that you got the neatest closet in the house, but you see all that crap she had all over their apartment. And I bet her place is going to be neat and nice. And daddy's going to write a nice check to give her what she wants. 7 is fair. AB said that 7 was fair. Okay, thank you, everyone. That was In the Cities, season 1, episode 2. If you have not started, of course, you can watch it on Bravo. Peacock, you get no commercials, and sometimes it's extended. Like when I reviewed Summer House, I watched the Peacock one, and it is extended and a lot more scenes that they had clipped out. So season 1, episode 2, you can also find it on YouTube. And then I'll be reviewing it here. Your review is so thorough. I don't think I need to watch the episode. CC slapping. Thank you, CC. I appreciate you showing up anyway. And I love that you moderate for me. Thank you. I'm pulling together Bravo extras. So other than seeing you ladies and you guys and whomever else in the YouTube streets, I'll see you back here for an extra probably later today, but you'll get enough advance notice, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Sandra. And then American Born says, I agree. She tells it so well that there's no need to watch. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments on my reviews. Thank you. And everybody have a great day. Bye. See you in the YouTube streets.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion!
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good That I